Yeah, look, if we look back at my understanding of the original blue light kind of, pardon the pun, the energy that got put behind it was around accumulative blue light over years being harmful to retinal tissues and things like that. And I'm not really convinced that the evidence is going to stood up over the longer term that that's actually the case. Now, there's certainly people who, when you block blue light, do find things more comfortable. The kind of blue light lenses that are available through a prescription from the optometrist. And if I've got a pair of glasses here, which they're not blue light, but you wouldn't know it because these don't look any different. If they were blue blocking glasses or regular glasses, you wouldn't notice any difference because of the anti-reflection coating and the blue blocking is at the very, very short wavelengths that adds a bit of yellowness to the tint. But some people genuinely find that a bit more comfortable. And if you do, go for it. The challenge is when you're buying stuff online, we don't know if they're TGA approved. We don't know if they've been created from a particular body of research to sort of demonstrate that they actually have any sort of meaningful impact on actually filtering out the whatever harmful blue light's meant to be there. From a minor side benefit, if you are getting dry eye related symptoms from digital eye strain, then what any pair of glasses does is creates a humid environment in front of your eyes, so you actually block the tears from escaping more quickly. And so, we've seen experiments in the past when they're looking at dry eye state is actually getting people to wear goggles as a way of measuring how much moisture builds up behind the goggles. And so glasses can certainly do that to another degree. So wearing anything like that does provide a more humid environment for the eyes. But in terms of the actual yellow filter, hard to say, particularly when you're buying sort of cheap ones online that may not be sort of necessarily approved. And then I'd be concerned about people wearing them out in the sunlight and exposing themselves to more UV. That's probably a bigger issue once you go outside wearing something like that. Whereas, if it's been made and prescribed to you, then it's going to have UV filters and those sorts of things in them. Probably the other aspect of blue light is, what it does to your sleep patterns. And if you're concerned about that, then there's a couple of strategies around that. One is that most of our devices, we can go into settings and create night mode kind of settings, which reduce the amount of blue light. And the other thing is get off your device at an hour to 1.5 hours before bed. And there's a great way of making sure that blue light is not impacting on your sleep.
You mentioned about glasses. There are actually, I think are they moisture chamber frames that you can get that actually kind of like create a sealed environment around your eye if you got extreme dry eye symptoms.
Yeah, look, it wouldn't surprise me that so it's not something we sort of use in our practice, but it wouldn't surprise me if those sorts of things are available, particularly for people who might have more extreme dry eye disease. If you've got someone who is dealing with Sjogren's syndrome, which is a much more severe dry eye, and I'm pretty sure from memory I've seen things where people can add stuff to frames to help not quite create a goggle, but that kind of idea where you're just trying to reduce the amount of airflow behind, so you build up humidity.